With the new Formula 1 regulations arriving in 2026, now is the perfect time to look back to the past and revisit some of Formula 1's weirdest and wildest machines. Long before today's era of tightly managed regulations, Formula 1 was a true playground for engineers willing to try anything in the pursuit of a faster lap time. Some of these ideas were banned almost immediately, some were painfully slow, and a few actually worked. And there's no better place to start than with a car that quite literally had a jet engine bolted to it. In 1968, the Lotus team wanted to try its hand at the Indianapolis 500, using a four-wheel drive turbine-powered car. Formula 1 designer and Lotus founder Colin Chapman saw the potential of this system and wanted to see how it might work out in Formula 1. By 1970, he had made contact with turbine engine manufacturer Pratt & Whitney to develop an engine that would meet the regulations for the 1971 season. Pratt & Whitney ended up modifying their pre-existing ST6 gas turbine engine, which was mainly used on turboprop aircraft. It proved to be an effective platform for a car, as the shaft that normally spun the propeller could be adapted into a drive shaft instead. The engine produced around 475 horsepower, more than the roughly 425 horsepower produced by its piston-engined rivals. It was also significantly lighter. Turbines have less moving parts and overall weight than piston engines, and combined with no need for a traditional clutch or gearbox to send power to the wheels, made the total weight sit at around 600 kilograms. Drivers at the time often relied on engine braking to help slow and rotate the car, but turbine engines offer no engine braking at all, meaning much larger brakes had to be fitted. Turbines also disliked rapid changes in engine speed, making the car slower out of tight, slow-speed corners compared to its piston-powered counterparts. It also was the first car of its kind to step away from the traditional cigar-shaped cars of the time. It showed off a new wedge shape that actually showed engineers how different body shapes interacted with the early front and rear wing designs. The 56B only appeared in 3 races, retiring in both the Netherlands and Britain, and finishing 8th in Italy before being banished to the Shadow Realm forever. It remains the last turbine-powered car to race in Formula 1, and it will almost certainly stay that way forever. And if you thought that was extreme, the next car takes unconventional design to a whole new level. This absolute abomination was unfortunately brought into this world for the 1972 season by Eifelland. Eifelland was originally a Formula 3 team that had graduated to Formula 1 with this bloated behemoth, hoping to make an immediate impact at the sport's highest level. It was based on the March 721 chassis and redesigned by the German designer Luigi Colani, whose unconventional, almost organic design philosophy was fully on display here. Its main features were the mirror that sat high above the driver's head and the giant intake that started at the front of the car. The intake wrapped around the cockpit and fed air directly into the motor, making the car instantly recognisable and widely mocked in the paddock. The design prioritised aerodynamic theory over practicality, and in reality, it delivered neither speed nor consistency. The car wasn't quick at all and didn't see a full season, with Eifelland pulling out before the year finished and refocusing all of their efforts into Formula 3. Even then, the team struggled to regain momentum, enduring a few more unsuccessful seasons before eventually being sold off in 1974, leaving the Type 21 as a short-lived but unforgettable footnote in Formula 1's long history of failed experiments. There was nothing visually striking about the P83, other than it having a fat ass.
What?
But the power plant more than made up for that. It used BRM's P75 H16 engine. The 1966 regulations raised the displacement limit for naturally aspirated engines from 1.5 litres to 3 litres, and BRM had previously found success with their 1.5 litre 16-valve V8. The H16 used 2 flat 8s that were derived from their previous V8 configuration. Their solution was simple in theory: slap 2 of them together and call it a day. And by slap together, I mean literally. The engine used two crankshafts geared together to a single output shaft that fed into the gearbox. The result was the P75, an overly complicated, heavy and deeply unreliable engine. It drank fuel like a thirsty horse, and each bank required its own water pump, radiator, distributor and fuel metering unit. To make matters worse, the crankshafts suffered severe vibration issues. These were initially addressed with balancing weights, until those same weights developed a nasty habit of breaking off of the crank and throwing themselves through the entire engine, causing catastrophic failures. Out of 40 Formula 1 race entries, the P83 retired from 30 of them, with 27 retirements caused directly by the engine or transmission. The FW15C was developed when Williams was already the fastest car on the grid. Instead of sticking with their newly phased-in semi-automatic transmission, they developed a continuously variable transmission, or CVT for short. It had two conical pulleys, a belt, and a metric fuckton of sensors to make up the whole system. CVTs don't have gears in the traditional sense, just one long gear that adjusts itself on the fly as the pulleys change their circumference, so the driver didn't have to manually shift. This eliminated the stop-start nature of traditional gearboxes and kept the engine running at the optimal RPM at all times. In testing, the FW15C was 12 seconds faster around the track than their previous World Championship winning car. But of course, it didn't take long for the FIA to dig their grubby little hands in, and the CVT was banned before it even saw a real race. The early years of aerodynamic development led to some strange designs, and one of the strangest was the March 711. In a unique attempt to generate downforce, the front wing was mounted high on top of the nose of the car, rather than the more conventional dual wing setups or swept noses used at the time. It looked like something that the team could eat their dinner off of, which is exactly how it earned the nickname, the T-Tray. Surprisingly, the 711 was quite successful in 1971. Ronnie Peterson scored 5 podiums with the car that season, including a standout drive at Monaco, where he started 8th and finished 2nd. March also went on to finish 4th in the Constructors' Championship, behind Ferrari. While the T-Tray front wing didn't become the standard, it was all a part of learning aerodynamic concepts that were still brand new in racing. Remember, wind tunnels weren't as accessible as they are today, and most testing was done through small-scale models or basic smoke tests. Unlike today, with massive factories full of thousands of people developing the car, it's awesome to see how far things have come in 50 years. The TG183 was originally designed at the end of the 1982 season and appeared in the final 2 races, retiring from both before being evolved into the TG183B for 1983. It featured 2 massive rear wings, radiators mounted close to the driver, and the Hart 415T, a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. The engine was relatively underpowered, with the 1980 world champion, Alan Jones, describing it as a Formula 2 engine with a turbo on it. The TG183B endured an unsuccessful 1983 season, with both drivers retiring a total of 17 times across 16 races. It did see 4 races in the 1984 season before being replaced by the TG184, which also retained the twin giant rear wings. Despite its funky aerodynamic concept, the car is not remembered for its performance, but rather for being the first Formula 1 car raced by the legendary Ayrton Senna. In just his second outing in the 183B, he finished 6th, later going on to score 3 podiums with the refined TG184. It wasn't the fastest, or the most reliable, but it was definitely one of the strangest, which was just the way that F1 used to be. From turbine-powered wedges to giant intakes, 16-cylinder engines, and goofy front wings, these cars prove that Formula 1 has always been a playground for the utterly bizarre. Some failed spectacularly, some found surprising success, and all of them remind us exactly what engineering is about, daring to try things that have never been done before. Which of these cars do you think takes the crown for the strangest? Let me know below. And if you want to see more mechanical madness, go ahead and headbutt the like and subscribe buttons. As always, praise be to the monkey.